Hi, thank you for joining me in an episode of Chad Sports Talk. You don't know, my name's Chad, and take a dive in the world of sports. This is my NFL Week 6 preview prediction video. You've been watching my videos. You know, last week I went 11-5 in predicting my games. That's right, I went back on top. And let's just go ahead and dive right into tonight's action between Tampa Bay and Philadelphia. Now, Bucs right now look pretty good on both sides of the paper. They're doing very well. They're winning. They're what they need to do to continue on their stride to try to repeat as champions. But Bucs D is not quite living up to the same level as they did last year. They brought in Richard Sherman in the backfield or in the secondary to kind of help shore up there, and it's not quite to his level yet. I'm sure it'll just be a matter of time before he does. However, they got to go into Philadelphia and take on the Philadelphia Tide. Philadelphia Eagles, or Hurst and Devontae Smith. That connection right there is doing quite well. You still got some other weapons on the Eagles offense that should give the Bucs defense some fits. Philadelphia's actually doing pretty good these past couple weeks, so I have a feeling I'm just going to go on the limb and going to put Philadelphia upsetting the Bucs at home. Now we're going to head out to Jacksonville, where the Jaguars will be hosting the Dolphins. Tua could return for broken ribs to start. I really think he should probably wait another week, but Tua is a competitor. He wants to go out there. He wants to be on the field to play and to be a asset to his teammates. And I applaud him for that. But bruised ribs are one of those things that you're not going to be 100%. It's going to take a little while to recover from that type of injury. And with that being said, I think if Tua does start, he's not going to be 100%. The backups are not quite. They're decent. But Dolphins' offense has been kind of struggling without Tua. And the Jaguars, one of those teams that's just primed to finally get over that hurdle. They've been a first-half team, doing very well in the first half. It doesn't seem to, progress very well. They had that game in Cincinnati where they got all those pieces in. It almost walked away with the victory, but ended up losing. But I'll give Jags their first win of the season and knocking off the Dolphins. Then we got Minnesota going to Carolina to take on the Panthers. The Panthers trying to rebound from their debacle against the Eagles at home. And Minnesota right now, these past two weeks, have just struggled. They just look flat. It had to be a last-second field goal to beat the Lions at home. And they also coughed that up. Their offense can do anything against Cleveland except for that first drive they had. And I think the Carolina should get back on track and be able to beat Minnesota at home. And then a monster of a game in the early session be the Chargers visiting the Ravens. And Lamar should put on a clinic and a show and provide the highlight reels for the entire week. These two should be outstanding, but the Chargers defense, even though their front should be good, they're just haven't been doing much. They coughed up a lot to the Cleveland Browns, but Cleveland Browns do have a very good team offensively. They coughed up 40 points to Cleveland and over 40 points to Cleveland in their win. They got decimated on the ground and in the air. I think Lamar will be able to do the same. And I think that Ravens D is going to be slightly better than the Chargers, and the Ravens will get the victory. The Rams will head to the Meadowlands, or should I say MetLife now, to take on the injured Giants. They're not going to be without Barkley. They're going to be without Golladay. Right now, Daniel Jones is still questionable. Time this video, because of his concussion he suffered against the Cowboys, and that was a flipping hit. But the Rams are going to be too much. The Rams should be easy to knock off the Giants at home and escape and leave with a victory. And the Texans going to head up to Indianapolis to take on the Colts. The Texans right now are starting to hum along. They've been giving teams some trouble, so it's not an easy victory against the Texans. And that defense is actually stepping up thanks to Lovie Smith. And it's going to be the same thing here again. It's the Texans going to give the Colts everything they can handle at home. And Carson Wentz is going to find some troubles, make some costly errors. But I think the Colts will be able to squeak out a victory at home against the Texans. They got Kansas City visiting the nation's capital. I think much like with the game in Philadelphia, Mahomes will rebound again against that NFC East opponent. The defense will cough up some points. It's just what the defense is. I think Mahomes, what needs to do is take a step back. I understand he's trying to put a lot on himself to try to force himself or force the team to put up more points, make up some, force the ball in where it shouldn't be, and his time seems to be a little off. I mean, especially against Buffalo, it was just he was out of his game. He was out of sync. And the Chiefs' defense is just Swiss cheese. But he's got to think that if he does what he needs to do, control the offense, and then be able to put up the points. You don't have to go after big play, but be able to control, sustain the drive, and move forward and limit his mistakes. The defense should do their part, especially against Washington. So I think the Chiefs will be able to escape Washington with a victory. They have Green Bay visiting Chicago. Aaron Rodgers loves playing against the Bears, and that just seems to be one of his favorite teams to play against. He does extremely well against Chicago. Chicago's defense starting to show lies. Khalil Mack came back, the back of the Mack. He was a force to be reckoned with against his former team last week. Justin Fields showed improvement because he threw his first touchdown. But like I said, Aaron Rodgers loves playing Chicago, and it's going to be no different. And I think Aaron Rodgers will be able to lead a successful drive and escape Chicago with the victory. Then Cincinnati visits Detroit. And Detroit almost got that win last week. And once again, this is one of these two weird, first half teams. I mean, unlike Jacksonville, who does well in the first half, Detroit is the opposite end that doesn't do very good. But I think this time they'll be able to make that second half comeback and knock off the Bengals to get their first victory of the season. Then you got Arizona heading out to Cleveland to take on Baker Mayfield and the Browns. And Baker Mayfield had a game last week. They came out short in a losing end in a high-scoring affair. And right now, Murray is just all over the place. So you got these two former Oklahoma quarterbacks going at it. And I think it's just too much offensive firepower for Cleveland for the Cardinals defense to kind of hold in check. I mean, they did quite well against the Rams, so they could prove me wrong on this one, but I think Cleveland's going to do enough to end the Cardinals' perfect season. Dallas now head up to New England, take on the Patriots. Belichick will get that defense, should get that defense up and running to give Dak some looks he hasn't seen. Pressure him, probably cough out the ball a couple times like he did against the Giants. New England's a little bit better offensively, so they should be able to capitalize on at least one of those turnovers. But it's just going to be too much. Dallas offense is just too many weapons on that side of the ball. Michael Parsons' defense should be ball hawking and trying to disrupt Jones's play in the backfield as quarterback. And I think the Cowboys, behind the running attack of Elliott and Pollard, should escape New England with the victory. Then we have Vegas going up to Denver, the Grudenless Raiders. So now they got to put that situation behind them, move forward. The Raiders are trying to get back on winning ways after their embarrassing loss at home to the Bears. Denver's defense should be very good and kind of disrupting Carr a little bit, but the offense is still the Broncos' offense, and I think the Raiders should be able to escape mile high with a victory. They have Seattle visiting Pittsburgh, the Russell-less Hawks, led now by Geno Smith. In case you didn't see it, Geno Smith came in. He was directing the line mates. He was calling audibles, like he's always been behind that center all season long. But that Steelers defense is going to give him some issues. Their Seahawks offense is going to be the same without Russell Wilson. And it should be a victory for the Steelers over the Seahawks. And then the Monday night game should be another one for the ages. The Bills will head down to Nashville, take on the Titans, and it should be a very classic game in the Music City, as it seems to be when these two teams meet in Nashville. I mean, Allen should have a good performance. I think Henry will do quite well as well. This is another one going to go on the limb and kind of give the game to the Titans to end kind of Bills' dominance right now. I know it's a bit of a stretch, but I think it's one of these things that the Titans are built for this type of matchups. Vrabel should come with some schemes to kind of help the Titans come over the top and have the Titans win Monday night. Well, those are my picks. What do you think? Which game do you think I kind of went too far off the edge and decided what to pick? Leave a comment below about that one. I mean, I know I got a few picks I kind of went on the edge on, like with Philadelphia knocking off Tampa Bay, the Tennessee win. I mean, the Arizona maybe losing finally. Detroit getting the first victory. Same thing with Jacksonville. So, hey, let me know. While you're there, go ahead, hit that thumbs up for me. Give me a like. Once you're there, you can also subscribe. Once you subscribe, you hit that bell notification. Let you know next time I post a video. And I'll see you next time on Chad Sports Talk.